Dudes and dudettes, how are you guys? This is Chazzy and welcome back to the Mixer, and today's video is going to be something very interesting, very peculiar that may intrigue many of you to the point of considering it to be just a hoax, a myth and something that I'm making up just to get views, and the title itself might be a little clickbaity or not, depends on what you consider to be clickbaity at this point. I actually don't really know what defines clickbait anymore. But I have a feeling that today it's gonna be it's gonna be, the verdict is, I don't know if you believe it, that it's actually real or not, but I guarantee you that it actually is real, actual documented fact. Okay, this really did happen. I'm going to be talking about who I consider to be the luckiest, or maybe even the unluckiest human being ever to have existed. A Croatian man by the name of Frane Selak. Okay, now this guy here, he was born in 1929 and he still is alive today. He's 92 years old. But there's one little peculiarity about Frane, or Fran. I'm just gonna call him Selak because his last name is a little easier, because there are people who actually maybe even call him Frank at one point, I don't really know. But anyway, starting in a certain moment of his life, he started to go through a few rather unfortunate events, for lack of a better term. He started going through a few bad things here and there, some ill tidings, let's say, but to such a degree that they kind of made him out to be either very blessed or very cursed. You guys are gonna know, I guess, are gonna find out what I mean. It all started in 1962. Okay, now he was on a train ride through a canyon. It was a little dark and cold and windy and rainy. Some of the weather was playing against him. It was actually not a very good time to travel. So I guess why exactly he risked it, I mean, is anyone's guess, really. I don't really know why he would, but it's all good, So he was riding through a train, and then here's the thing: something made the train just inexplicably fly off of the tracks, and eventually crashed into a river. And even though 17 other people died in the crash, he was pulled to safety by an unknown person. There was a loud sound in the background. Was that the ghost of Frane? The ghost who was after him? Did you guys hear that? There was a loud thump somewhere inside of my house, and I didn't see anything move. So. Okay. So anyway, he was pulled to safety by an unknown person, and he actually survived. He actually endured hypothermia and a broken arm. I have a little cheat sheet here, but I studied this so much that I might not even need it, or I might actually, I don't really know. So anyway, and he only suffered a broken arm and a hypothermia. But you probably think, okay, well, it's just an accident. It's a one-time thing that happened one particular time in his life. He was very fortunate to escape, so it's all good. Yeah, except the next year in 1963, in his first and up until then only time ever riding a plane, something happened that I guess it's really not determined what exactly went wrong, but some accident happened up in the sky, and the plane malfunctioned, and the door malfunctioned, and it blew people outside of the plane. It started sucking everybody outside of the plane, with Selak himself included, and everybody who was sucked out of the plane died. The plane itself crashed and killed everybody who was on board, but Frane, or why do I keep calling him Frane? Damn it, Selak crashed into a haystack. Why did I say crash? It's like he himself was the plane. He fell into a haystack, and he actually survived. There were 19 people on the plane, and they were all killed, not counting the ones who were sucked out, and thrown all over the place, He himself was also, he was part of that, but he landed in a haystack, however high the damn plane was, and he somehow survived. Now, how exactly? I don't know. Now, up until now, you might be thinking, okay, it is pretty creepy. It's almost a little unsettling. Just the plane crash alone would have been really hard to believe, but it doesn't stop there. So, 3 years after that, now in 1966, he was riding on a bus that skidded off of the road and also crashed into a river, because everything falls into rivers now. The train, the bus, everything that this guy rides in, all of his modes of transport have really strong attractions to rivers. It doesn't really make a lot of sense, Anyway, so it ended up drowning 4 passengers, on the bus, and he himself did survive with just a few cuts and bruises. But then again, I mean, compared to what happened before that with the plane, the bus skidding off the road was actually probably not that big of a deal, But then 4 years later in 1970, something else went down with Selak, okay? He was in his car, he was driving, and then all of a sudden it inexplicably caught fire for no reason whatsoever. Nobody can determine why. And he actually got out of the car. He managed to escape the car right before the fuel tank exploded, and obviously would have killed him. Pretty awkward, huh? It must be pretty awkward to walk away from that and be like, how did I do that? How exactly did I survive that? It doesn't really make any sense. You know, at least that's what I would be thinking if I was in his position. But yeah, that's actually all that happened to Selak, you know? I'm joking. There was actually 3 years later something else. It just keeps getting better and better. So here's the thing, guys. 3 years later in 1973, in yet another driving incident, the engine of his car was doused with hot oil, you know, from a malfunctioning fuel pump, and it actually made flames fly through the air ducts and pretty much almost engulf him in fire inside the car, and only his hair was singed. The only thing that happened throughout that whole ordeal was that his hair got a little singe from the flames, and that's it, okay? He was otherwise completely unharmed. Then it was quite a 12 years or so, you know, it was a bit over a decade, you know, without anything, actually, no, sorry. This happened in 73, about 20 or so years with no incidents as far as they could record, you know. But then in 1995, he was struck by a bus, but actually only sustained minor injuries. This happened in Zagreb, you know. So he was struck by a bus and somehow didn't die. If it was me, I would have died instantly. I think the shock itself from the blunt force trauma would already kill me, you know. I'm not exactly a scaredy cat, but a lot of physical trauma kind of makes me feel queasy because I can't really deal too well with violence, you know. But that's a story for another day. Actually, I think I already told this story in another video a long time ago. I don't know where it is, but it's good. Guys, 1 year later in 1996, something else happened. Because this guy is just way too much of an unfortunate bastard to let it go, huh? He actually eluded a head-on collision with a United Nations truck on a mountain swerve by swerving into a guardrail. So he was driving and he avoided an accident by swerving into a guardrail. Pretty okay. But that guardrail gave way under the force, you know, so I'm guessing he did sustain injuries as well. You know, he fell. I'm guessing that something hurt him, you know, maybe the car itself, maybe the car kind of twisted a little bit, or the car rolled, you know, kind of capsized. Something probably happened there. I don't have all of the details here, but he obviously got hurt, you know, or else it wouldn't have made this list. And after that, I mean, you probably, at this point, you'd probably give up. You know, you'd probably be like, you know what, I think I've lived a good enough life. You know, I've been very lucky up until now. I'm just gonna, you know, isolate myself in an asylum or something and never come out of, never go outside again. But no, my boy Selak just kept on going, and the worst is yet to come. Little did he know that the worst was yet to come. So, sometime later after that, he celebrated his 73rd birthday. He made it to 73 even though death was clearly after him so many times. Well, you can probably imagine death, you know, like the physical embodiment of death, and like the Grim Reaper with the scythe behind him, you know, waiting anxiously for him to die, but then he keeps escaping, and then he's like, ah, damn it. You know, you could probably picture death literally behind him, you know, trying to catch him for so many years. And then he finally turned 73, and 2 years after that, he won the lottery. Yep. He won the gall darn lottery. He won the equivalent of $1,110,000. I'm pretty sure at that point it was pretty much like life giving him what they owed, you know? It's like, I don't know, maybe there were angels in the sky who probably had a bet going on that he was gonna probably die, you know, and then he actually kept escaping, so they pretty much compensated him, you know? Or maybe destiny, life itself, fate intervened and said, look, you know what, man? You have survived everything that we could throw at you, you know? Maybe this is the time for us to make it up to you, so here you go, take the money and get the hell out of Dodge. Man, because like the guy survives all of these crazy events, you know, that could and probably should have killed him, and then he goes and wins the damn lottery. This kind of thing doesn't happen to me, man. I've got bills piling up here, man. I barely have enough to pay rent this month, and this guy won the lottery after nearly dying a dozen freaking times, you know. But of course, he actually did buy 2 houses and a boat with his winnings. But in 2010, he was feeling generous, and he gave most of this money away to friends and relatives, and he just kept a little bit for himself, you know, to live a very frugal lifestyle, which I can imagine is a very smart move, because when you go through what this guy went through, when you go through what Selak did in his life, you know, maybe you don't want to take any more chances, you know, you just want to live a little, you just want to be a little okay, you know, you just want to kind of, you just want to chill a little bit, don't take any risks, don't start being like an arrogant douchebag, buying too much stuff and being like a rich snob, you know, because it might not end well for you, you know, maybe that's what he thought, I'm just going to live a humble lifestyle, away from the spotlight so I don't provoke anything else, you know, I guess maybe that's the way he thought. It's definitely what I would do, no doubt about that. But oh god, I don't even know what else I can say about him, you know. I mean, it's a very short topic, you know, but something that is, the verdict is out on if you guys consider him to be the luckiest or the unluckiest man ever. But I mean, he is lucky because he survived anything that life could throw at him, but at the same time, he is unlucky because he went through all of these things, you know. So if this happened to me, you know, I don't think I've ever had a near-death experience. Actually, I did. This is a story for another day, another vlog, but I do believe it was in 2015. I was climbing one of the highest mountain peaks in Rio de Janeiro, and I almost died about 3 times or so. But I don't think it comes close to what Selak went through, you know. And I don't know if I will ever find out how to pronounce his name. Frane, France. Can I just call him Frank? It just makes more sense, you know. But I actually thought his name was Frank when I looked him up. It's actually Frane or Fran. He's from Croatia, so give me a break, okay? But anyway, guys, a very short vlog, you know. I don't know if I was able to put in any clips or photos of him or anything, you know, but whatever comes out is what comes out. I hope you guys enjoyed it anyway, and well, it was an interesting topic to research. You know, I watched a few videos, I read up about him, and I thought I really should make this into a video, even if it is a little cut and dry and short and dull, you know. But I still wanted to immortalize this guy's story here in my channel. Maybe in the future I'll come back if I have more information and do something a little more dynamic, but for now this is what I got. I hope you guys liked it, and let me know in the comments below which one you think is the most unbelievable event that he survived, you know. And you can look him up for yourself later and see that I'm not making this up. It's not like Ripley's Believe It or Not or anything, although his story probably did make it onto Ripley's archive somehow, but you know. But that's it for today, guys, okay? If you happen to like this video, then please give it a like and subscribe to my channel because I release videos every single day. You don't want to miss that, you know. Speaking of not missing that, hit the notification button to know exactly what time I upload because I do that completely at random throughout the day, okay? And that's it for now, guys. That was fun. That was fun. This is Chazzy signing out for now, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Roll the outro screen.